The oppressed and the oppressor are in partnership. Okay? The oppressed always lament about the oppressor and have complaints, have a lot of evil things to say about the oppressor, but they love, praise, and idolize the oppressors. In fact, they love them so much that they want to be like them. This is the situation we find ourselves in every corrupt society in the world. Because as much as the rich, right, oppresses the poor or the working class, take advantage of them and create a system that is so unfair that most of the people in poverty cannot cross over and become wealthy. The people in poverty idolize them and want to be like them. You might not believe this, but think about most of the people in your society that you love are not wealthy because they are more hardworking than you or because they are smarter than you. They're in positions in which they can take advantage of the system and make themselves wealthy. It is what it is, realistically. Okay? So someone might say, no, it's because they graduated from this school, or it's because they were able to apply to this job and now they are the manager or whoever it is in that job. If you ask the right questions, you will discover that their salaries or whatever they are paying them to actually do that job is not what has generated them this massive amount of wealth, including the presidency. If all the president does is take his salary, you understand? You as an entrepreneur, you'll be able to work harder and maybe even be richer than your president. Realistically. Including the president of the United States. I don't think the president of the United States collects over 500,000 US dollars. There are entrepreneurs who earn five times that a year. You get what I'm saying? So not your president of your country. So whether in any position in government, any position in any mineral rich resource that your country has, petroleum, oil, what do you have, natural gas, diamonds, etc., whatever your country is into, people in those positions are taking advantage of their position to actually enrich themselves. This is what corruption is. But you idolize them. You love them. In fact, you can't wait to get into that position so that you can play the same game. And this is that game is what oppresses other people, puts them more in abject poverty because resources are not going to the right channels where they're supposed to go. And this is why when you see some rich guy going around, you're like, wow, you praise him, you hail him, you give him all the accolades, right? And you ask him which way, show us the way, let us learn, let us, also be like you. He knows that you are aware of how he's generating his wealth. So that question doesn't make sense. It's like you're telling him, tell me how you're stealing from us. So it's not going to do it. So the most common answer people give is that, oh, they are blessed, they are lucky, God has helped them, whatever, just keep praying, just keep working hard, you too, you'll get there. You're not going to get there. You are not going to get there. Okay? The best you can do is hope to also get in that position and oppress more people. The only way for society to get better is if we hate corruption so much that we hate the people that are actually benefiting from it. That when they show up, you don't like them, they get no love whatsoever. When they are at the club doing whatever, nobody gives them love. Even their kids will now hate them for it. And therefore, they'll be forced to do the right thing. This is why whenever corruption is exposed on social media and all that, these people scramble to repair their image quickly because nobody wants to be known for something evil. This is why corruption thrives so much in our country because it's idolized and we're co-conspirators that will help them hide it. We'll work with them to hide it. We'll make them look, say, no, that is a good man. This man is very generous. He's generous because he has too much that he has stolen from you. The guy's Bugatti or Benz that is driving, that's one children's hospital. Okay? That is one maternity ward somewhere that's supposed to help women deliver safely. That's the salaries of teachers that's supposed to educate your children. That's a factory somewhere that's supposed to create jobs and uplift this country. But when you see him, you say, I love that guy. I can't wait to be like this guy. And so the cycle continues. This is why the oppressed and the oppressors are partners. You might say what you want. When it comes down to it, you meet them, you love them because you want something from them. You also want to be like them. You also want to benefit. So as long as you love them, the cycle continues. In case you have not still gotten what I'm saying, I'll just give an example, an illustration. Imagine a graper, right? A man who takes advantage of women sexually. A graper, I can't use the R word here on social media, so I'll just call him a graper. Imagine a graper, and the people, whenever they see this graper, the word out there is that this graper has had sex. I think I can say sex on social media. I don't know. Has sex with, let's say, 1,000 women, right? 1,000 women. And anytime you see this guy, you'll be like, man, I love this guy. He has had lots of sex, and I want to be like him, right? But he's a graper, right? He forcefully takes advantage of women in different psychologically, physically, etc., etc. Okay, so when you ask him and say, how do you get so much women? I want to get women just like you. He's not going to tell you he's a graper because he already knows that you have an idea that he's a graper. But you refuse to accept it. You refuse to see him from that perspective. You praise him. You say, man, this is a real man. You know, he gets so much women, you know, all the time, etc., etc. So he's not going to comfort and tell you that, oh, of course I'm a graper, don't be like me. No, he's going to say, no, I'm blessed. We thank God for all the opportunities. We thank God that women love me everywhere I go. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't say when women come to look for jobs in my organization, I ask them for sex before giving them the job. He's not going to tell you that. He's not going to say women who cannot defend themselves, I corner them and I take advantage of them. He's not going to say that. He's going to just say it's blessed. And so you look at the results it's getting, the scorecard that they say, oh, this guy has had sex with 1,000 women. And you be like, I want to be like that man. Even though you've heard the rumors that he's a gripper. Even though some women have come out and say, this guy is a gripper. You're going to say, not all that. This guy is a good man. Why? Because when you met him, he gave you 500. When you met him, he gave you 1,000,000. You said, this guy uplifts people. This guy supports people. So let's ignore the other aspect. It doesn't matter until society frowns on that action totally 100%. Even their kids, because their kids growing up are going to say, oh, look, daddy is a graper, right? But people love him for being a graper. Do you understand? When he goes anywhere, they praise him, they'll roll out the red carpet for him. They give him chairs to sit down and say, this guy has graped 1,000. So the children will follow in their footsteps and say, like, okay, I want to be loved too. I want to be loved like my daddy. So I'll be a graper also. And that's why you see corruption continuing. When people go out there and you see their kids also follow in their footsteps. Soon also they become your next leader in whatever capacity and continue what their fathers were doing. And the children will do worse 10 times more because you guys love and applaud them and ensure that they continue doing what they're doing.